Good evening, my bro. I hope you to be in a good health. So today I will explain about the Wisconsin Death Trips novel. This novel adapted into a film. It's true novel. The brief, the brief story is that there are people who live in the countryside, rural life. Most of the people who lived in the village died in various accidents, and we will see some of examples about those. So this city has suffered a lot of days, as I saw through my inspiration of the novel. This narration talks about just terrifying events that happen to people. So we will look together at how it can be turned into a film and on what it was based on. As follows, I arrange the events in sequence. We will first take a brief idea of what is going on inside the book and then how to convert it. So, in slide 1, overview about Wisconsin Data Trips book. I make an overview to the book and to the film. So, Wisconsin Data Trip first published in 1973 in Michael Leesy's book that was adapted into a film of the same name by director James Marsh in 1999. Michael Leesy is a writer and a professor of literary journalism at Hampshire College in Amherst. The other point, this book is a shaking compendium of a newspaper clippings, photographs, including many of dead men, women, and children. In the town of Black River Falls, it does not guide only through his realism of the dark events that swept the town. So, Black River Falls, it is not river, it is the city. It is the name of the city. It's a city in Jackson County, Wisconsin, in USA. So, third point, the book chronicles the social, moral, psychological, and physical decimation of the town during the depression of the 1890. It considered the best example of the interaction of American history and folklore. In slide 3, a compliment. The book is a part of a real-life career, word and heroic stories and photographs. In this book, the pictures spoke. We must concentrate on these words. The pictures spoke. So this photographs taken by photographer called Charles Van Schaik in the city of Black River Falls. Also, this book is a part of the power of the images because they speak about how people live, suffer, and perish. And local news reports from this period. It emphasizes the harsh aspects of Midwestern rural life under the pressure of crime, disease, mental illness, and urbanization. So, in this slide, most of the town residents were immigrants from Germany and Scandinavia. And the photographs of the people from the town are disturbing, mainly because they are real. So Marsh adapts the book by extracting the photographs and placing them into a context. We will see that when we're talking about the overview about the films. So, slide 4. The book contains plenty of news articles about the tragedies of Black River Falls, The real emotional weight is carried by the photographs. Michael Lizzie says, this is a quotation. Michael Lizzie says, I wanted to make it a movie, but it cost too much to produce, so it was just a poor man's way of making a movie in book form. I will explain this quotation. Michael Lizzie described how he wanted to originally have Wisconsin Day Trip be released as a movie and not a book. He wants to be released as a movie, not a book. So the other quotation, if you are good at what you make, you create something that's puzzle that can be worked, but that always leaves the person unsatisfied, leaves him wanting to work it again to solve it better. Lizzie himself here says about the goal of his book and of creating a work of art in general, which applies equally to the avant-garde adaptation. The fourth point, this non-fiction work looks at the darker side of the great American dream. We assumption we know about the American dream. What is the American dream? So it is a powerful history lesson, one worth revisiting now and then, as the author reminds us when he writes the conclusion to the book. Slide 5. Overview about Wisconsin Day Trip's film. The 1999 film adaptation was directed by James Marsh as a docudrama. It was shot primarily in black and white, with contrasting color sequences of modern life in the area. So, who is James Marsh? Is a documentary director. And what is docudrama? As a genre of radio and TV programming. So the other point is the film is an idiosyncratic mix of documentary like restaging, dramatization, reproduced photographs from the book. This picture shows the colors of shooting the movie. The film is shot brilliantly by Eagle Braille in black and white and sepia, which highlights the tone of the book and the historical time frame. As I say now, this picture shows the colors of shooting the movie. Yes. Slide 6. Marsh adapts the book by extracting the photographs and placing them into a context that makes them more alive through movement. The combination of words and images proves powerful. So in this book or novel, the pictures is spoke. As I say before, Black River Falls comes across as a place of madness, sudden violence, and extreme eccentricity. The film has plenty to say about the small community of Black River Falls in the 1890s. And the film shows the American Gothic come to life. It also implies that the Gothic doings are entirely isolated. So the film is about the scene of death and insanity and unusually harsh conditions. You must know that. Wisconsin Day Strip shows how the links to the past by Black River how the links to the past by Black River Falls do not allow do not always yield pleasant memories. As I say now, the film is about the scene of death and insanity and harsh conditions. So, the ambiguity is a staple of many avant garde films. This movie is ambiguous also. Slide 7. The film begins with a voice overstating, then we hear a loud boom, a camera flash, before seeing the photograph of the dead body of a little girl being placed in her miniature coffin. After that, the camera takes an unusual position below a man's dangling feet. He has hung himself. This sequence demonstrates that the title of the film should be taken quite literally, and also shows how Marsh is ingenious. Ingenious with what? Ingenious with the camera, ingenious with the sound, etc. And the story becomes increasingly dark. Then the words have an entirely separate meaning. So using voice is not typically an avant-garde technique. Slide 8. As books go, they strip device convention in nearly every way. For one thing, none of the pictures carry any captions or descriptions, so the faces one sees throughout the book are nothing more than nameless ghosts. The text has no clear beginning or narrative structure. The pages aren't even numbered. Slide 9. A few samples. We have a few samples about what's going on, what's going to the people. These are the names of people who lived in this city, and this is what happened with them. Also, slide 10. Yes. I finished my lesson. So stay safe. Thank you, my prof.